It is cold in Paris. Yes, it's Sunday morning. It is super quiet out, as you can see behind me. And my building, my apartment is right there. But I fell in love with this little shop, this new shop that is right across the street. I'm going to have to flip the camera around. Check this out. Oh my goodness. Looks to me like old china, some interesting vases. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. Nothing like tableware to make a girl's Sunday fabulous. Look at this. Now, just so you know, in France, window decorations are very artistically done and cherished. So sometimes they don't want to actually sell something from the window because it will ruin the display, if you can believe that. So anyways, interesting lamp. Interesting. So we are on Rue de Bellechasse, which is where I live. And again, more of this whatever is going on. Hopefully it's finished by the Olympics. But it's a very quiet street, other than the fact that as we get down here, you will see it is the headquarters of a famous designer, couture house. And I believe this used to be, why am I blanking out? Not a convent, but where the actual priests lived at one time. This area is the 7th. It's right on the edge of the 6th, and this whole area at one time was almost all convents and religious gardens where religious Catholic people, France was and remains very Catholic, but rather fascinating that this exactly was a place where the nuns lived at one time. So here we are. Yves Saint Laurent. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. His company has taken over the entire block and slowly over the years renovated it and then finally opened it. But they have many different openings that happen at this particular location. Are very fun. Across the street, actually, as you can see from above the door, are many ministry offices. This building, actually my building down at the end of the street, at one time was part of the Ministry of Education. And then they sold it, and the developer that purchased my building renovated it. You do see runners, by the way, in France, in Paris, which years ago we never saw, ever. So, quite interesting. But yes, this street, Rue de Bellechasse, gets very busy in the morning because these offices have a lot of people who work in them. Very fun. I'm going to cross the street so you get a viewpoint of it the other direction. There is a church called Saint Clotilde, and that's the bell that you hear. Saint Clotilde had a huge convent of nuns who actually had gardens and whatnot in the area of where my apartment is. So this whole part of Paris is fascinating to me. Very interesting. Ooh. This is Rue de Gourmet. You can see what's happening down that street. This building on the corner is so pretty. They always have beautiful flowers and gardens. Quite gorgeous. is a lovely, actually very nice little Thai restaurant. And you can see all these structures going up. We'll be walking past a few. Now that the weather is getting warm, everyone. Sorry, I did not want to speak. Everyone is building outside patios. And this is something that all came out of COVID. Prior to COVID, you never saw that. It was rare. There was none of this allowed. And since, obviously, COVID, that has all changed. I am walking down Rue Bellechasse. We are now on Rue du Babylon. And this street actually will take you right to Bon Marché. I chose not to go down Rue de Bac only because I thought you'd all enjoy seeing a different part like this. Shops, shop windows. Aren't they artfully created? Just beautiful. We are going to stop at a little park that I believe is open, a garden. But look at that. I think that is a government office or government official home with the garden in the back, because there are always, as you can see right here, there are always police outside of it. So no messing around, right? So pretty. We are walking into the Jardin Catherine Le Bourret, which is a charity that was established by nuns. I believe the park, because there's all kinds of children's activities in this park, is still run by the nuns. Because if you know, all around Bon Marché, there is actually a very large convent. But you see children everywhere in this park always. It's very fun. Okay, let's go in and take a look. See what it's all about. And we will have a little talk if you so wish. There's a children's playground. Place to sit. There are bathrooms. Not that you want to use them, but if it's an emergency, they are there. And you see the gardens. And even though French people don't go to church all that much anymore, going to a garden and sitting, or going to a garden and playing with your children or your dogs is rather common on Sunday mornings. Weekends are sacred. So here we are. As you can see, I'm all bundled up because it's cold out. It's very cold out. And unusual, because I believe, oh gosh, I don't even know what the date is, end of April. Yes. And I am on my way. It's a Sunday, and I'm on my way walking, obviously, to Bon Marché. Bon Marché is a very interesting department store because it's a place that you as a tourist will most likely enjoy visiting. It's a little bit of everything. It's an institution. La Grande Épicerie is right next door, which is part of Bon Marché. All kinds of places to eat and just have a lovely, lovely time. But it gives you a little viewpoint and a wide cross-section of French culture to a great extent. Different from Harrods in London, very different. The Harrods in London has changed over time and become, how do I say it, almost unlike Britain. You don't get a real flavor for being in Great Britain or in London when you're in Harrods. Bon Marché still retains all of that French feel, which I think is absolutely wonderful. And I hope you do too. That is one of the entrances, not the main entrances, but one of the entrances to Bon Marché. This is Rue de Babylon, and we are on Rue des Bacs right here. And if you go that way, you end up at Rue Raspail. I'm pronouncing all of these incorrectly, but I think you have the general idea. We are going to walk into Bon Marché so you get an idea of the store. I'm going to show you some of my favorite departments. Who doesn't like Loro piano? This is great. Now I am going to go up to the third floor, possibly, because we're going to look at the books and notebooks, pens, that sort of thing. See if I can see isn't it beautiful little shops. We are in the jewelry section. We will be walking into the section of makeup in just a minute, which I love. Can't afford anything in this area, although it is quite beautiful. There's Guerlain. That's who I need, actually. I am in the Guerlain area, which I absolutely loved, and they actually sit me down to make sure I have the right colors. But the two things that I absolutely adore are right here, the terracotta Le Tint. I put it on with a brush, which is fantastic, and the gal today came up with a concealer for under the eyes that would work. Guerlain is just a fabulous brand, French brand. It is, I believe, part of its own company. It's not huge group. I also purchased one of their Kiss Kiss. I have worn the Kiss Kiss lipsticks for years and years and years. Incredibly moist. I also have used these, and I can't remember the name of whichever one I have. They're very heavy, and that's the only negative. They are coming out with a whole new color scheme as of tomorrow, and these are going to be lighter, which they listened, right? Okay, so now we are going to, you can see the beauty floor is here. You can see all the floors above. We are going to go up. Quite a department store. We are going to go up to where the books are, which is up on the top, if I remember correctly, because I am going to, these are all clothing. Oh, this is very fun. Forgot to show you this. Caroline. Oh, I love these little things that I add to my earrings. I wanted, very fun. Here they are. Let's see if they have any new colors. And the designer is, here we are. That is the designer. Oh my goodness, this is entirely different. This is not it. This is where you write. Interesting. This is some sort of an exhibit. I'm headed to the Bookstore, but it's very interesting. Family First Cafe. You have to check out these chairs. They look like books. Isn't that fascinating? Now we're going to go to the Bookstore, which is back here. This is my favorite hangout. Okay. There's everything in here. Mont Blanc. Okay, I'm going to take you to what I love because there is so much to see. Osceline. Beautiful books. Coffee table books. Way too heavy to be carrying around Paris. That's for sure. Now, moleskin is one of my favorites. I don't know what travel from home. Don't you love this? Candles that smell like something. Oh my goodness. That one smells like coconut. Oh. Fascinating. Oh. You got puzzles. My grandkids would love these. That's New York. Yeah, baby. French Riviera. But they're not too heavy. Very fun. We've got a little of Edward Munch going on. I love this place. There is my moleskins, and I am going down to Provence, and I need a moleskin diary to keep track of what I am doing. That's something to carry with me on the train. Okay, this is my other new obsession. Crazy, but these. I absolutely love these stamps for the back of envelopes, and then you can purchase the wax. This all fits with learning the handwriting in France, which I will talk about in just a minute. Yeah, look at these. Aren't these just special? Yeah, you can actually order wax. Not wax, you can, but you can order a stamp that you specifically love. Fantastic. Okay, I know I'm in France, but this particular brand is fantastic. And I'm going to show you some of what they do. They've got all kinds of pencils. I mean, what is it about all of this that I just absolutely love? So I love these notebooks. They're colorful. They're great paper. There's some that are lined. These are lined. I have them in all colors. These are unlined. Check out this fabulous blue. These are unlined, so you can sketch in them also. Absolutely beautiful. I love moleskins, but this is a brand that I highly, highly recommend. You can see there's everything in here. Absolute pencils, papers. Look at the pens. Pens are incredible. And part of that is that the French believe in handwriting. Very structured handwriting, cursive handwriting that they teach when the children are young. Quite beautiful. Check out this color. I don't know who this is, but this is a beautiful color. It's a guest book if you were to have a party, but check out this box. I don't know if I can get it open. I don't think so. Oh, yes. Have no fear, right? Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful to store your items in your cupboard so that you have those keepsakes? It's tax season. What if we put, this is our 2024 tax receipts, and then we put them in a beautiful shelf. Something feels very different, doesn't it, from what the tax season makes most of us feel like. Square toes are back. Interesting. This is the more casual shoe area, as you can see. I have big feet, so I have trouble finding anything that fits in here. There's some more square toe ballets. Very interesting. And over here we have the more expensive shoes. I was going to show you something that I thought you would all find interesting. Oh, there's the beautiful ones. Repetto. Now these were the famous, this is basically where the ballet shoes came from. Ballet flats that Paris is so well known for, because Repetto made ballet or ballet shoes initially. Think pink. Don't you love it? Think pink. Which is a British brand. So you see really everything, as you can tell. The color of spring. Gotta love it. There are restaurants all over Bon Marché, tucked into little places. This is one of my favorites. It's I don't know if you can see it, but Primo Piano. It's lovely. It's great food, very comfortable, very fun. I love that. The moments of exception. Every woman needs moments of exception, don't they? Absolutely. I think they're for weddings, but let's forget the wedding idea and think about just moments of exception for you. Just for you. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Through the shoe shop. Ooh, we're done. You will see the bridge, they call it. And this takes you over to the La Grande Épicerie, which you will find amazing. If you ever go to Harrods in London, it's sort of like the hall down in the lower level. But I think it's even more magnificent. That right there is Rue du Bac, which is where we came in. So you can see it either rained or they cleaned the streets. And we are on the second floor, which is actually the third floor in America. But you enter the Grande Épicerie, which has everything related to the home. So on the lower levels are food, and up here is furnishings. The Socialite Family actually is a great website. Their lamps are well known, very straight, clean lines, as I explained yesterday or in one of my prior videos. I think the French people like clean lines inside of their homes because the outside is so busy. This outside is so old and they want new. We in America are just the opposite. We have new on the outside and we have to bring the old in, which is very fun. So we will take a walk so you can see. And you can see here that there's little shops within Bon Marché, little venues, if you want to call it that, with different vendors. Bon Marché has their own brand, but also there are some individual brands, which are very, very fun. Oh gosh, Bail Bomb. Fantastic. Scents. Oh my gosh, now that's a candle, isn't it? I love these. I love to put these in my front entryway, no matter where I live. We are wandering around. There is a section which is all old things. Busy today. This is something a lot of French people do on Sundays. Is they go shopping, or they go window shopping, or whatever it might be. Ferdinand. Well, no, they have individual shops, but here they have a little booth, as you can see. Same with Marin Matago, which does all of these really unique watercolors that they actually put onto their porcelain. So you could see how sweet. Bonjour, monsieur. Love this. Then there is a whole section upstairs. I'm still on the second floor of the La Grande Épicerie that has antiques. Believe it or not. I'm sure they're not good prices. I'm sure it is quite expensive. But you can see a real cross-section of things, truly. You've got crystal. You've got old, not very old, napkin rings. You've got china. This one has initials on the back. It's very pretty. I can't see who it is. Crystal Poulet. I have no idea. I've never heard that before. If you're into green, isn't this pretty? Never heard of these brands. That means absolutely nothing. I am no expert. Aren't those gorgeous? Very fine. This looks more like Saint Louis, but it's not. Beautiful. See a little bit of everything. Now we are going to go down to the food area. The first floor, which I will not take you through, is all china, crystal, where upstairs was bedding and furniture and things like that. This is a very fun floor. When I moved to Paris, I bought most of my pots and pans and things like that here just to make it easy for myself. I could hop on a cab and get back home. But we will go down now to the food level, which I think this gives you an idea. It is, how do I explain this? It's not a place that you would go to get bargains by any stretch of the imagination, but it is certainly, La Grande Épicerie has just all kinds of delicious foods, prepared foods, baking items, whatever it is that you might need. And downstairs, just so that you can see, is where the liquor is. And I don't drink, so consequently I'm not down there very ever, quite frankly. But this gives you an idea of the food, all the different kinds of food. Now, this is something I thought was so strange when I first came here. I didn't know what they do with it. And actually, I stopped into a shop yesterday, just down the street from me, and it's basically prepared food that you warm up in the oven and will actually taste homemade. I bought, what did I buy? Duck l'orange yesterday, and I will let you know. They also, believe it or not, are into cans, which is kind of interesting. A lot of their pâtés, and so you can bring these things home with you. As long as, I don't know that you can bring the jars, but you can actually bring the cans, because obviously you have not opened them. Oh, what is that? Oh my. Oh, I think they're beets. Incredible. White asparagus, this is the season, so you will see a lot of that on menus. Myrtilles or blueberries. Lovely. See, you see the seasonality of French eating and French cooking. So I am a great fan of soups. These are incredible soups, but they change. They are very seasonal based on, the time of year. What's here at Christmas or the winter holidays is very different from what's here right now. Cocktails, champagnes, cocktail preparations, which are more common today because the French have gotten very into cocktails, which is kind of interesting. I don't know, given it's a wine culture. Just about everything in here that you can imagine. Breads, there's a bakery back here, but there's also all kinds of prepared food. There is places to go to purchase items to take home with you. It's quite a shop. It really is. It's quite an amazing place. When I used to come here and had obviously a hotel room, sometime I would come and get things just to eat in my room later. This looks like your traditional, American takeout, except I'm telling you, it is so delicious. So delicious. And here is homemade pasta. Oh, wow. And you've got the boucherie. If you could smell through this video, you would know what this all smells like, because we are coming up to the fromagerie. Smells delicious. Madeleines prepared. We got yogurts of every kind. The French eat a lot of yogurt. It's quite interesting to me. Both cow's milk, dairy, also sheep and goat. Quite interesting. You can see all the different flavors. It's incredible. Then there is an entire section in the front. This is actually the main entrance where you'll see a coffee shop, cafe, similar. You'll see desserts. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Some things are good. Some things are brought in. Probably the best display of chocolate you will ever want to see. And candy. This is also where you will see things that are British, Indian, Mexican. You will see a cross-section, a lot of African. Delicious, all of it. But if you're looking to make something from home, you can find it here. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the visit to Bon Marché and the quick walk there. Something that is unique, I think, about France, and certainly when I go to Bon Marché, is the packaging. They always ask, is this a gift? And when you say things like I do, this is a gift, yes, but for moi, they package it up as though it is a very special thing. Here is an example. I showed you the jewelry, which is not expensive, but for some reason I am captured by this jewelry. It's so interesting. I have actually her earrings on, and you can change the little hangy things on the bottom. But look at that. Isn't that just spectacular? So what did I buy? I will undo this. Caroline does all kinds of necklaces and earrings and jewelry and all of that. So let's see if I can get this open. That's the question. So that I can show you the necklace, because the necklace is so cool. So look at this. I think you will absolutely love it. Isn't that just beautiful? The cord, actually, you can change the length of the cord, which is wonderful. And if you open it up, which I will do for you, inside is the elephant, which is, I didn't realize this, but the symbol of prosperity and actually money is what they explained to me. And then inside is the heart for love. They come in an assortment of colors, assortment of cords. I just thought that was spectacular. So I had to add that to my collection. So that is in the middle of Bon Marché, and I actually walked you past the little booth, and I think it's exclusive to Bon Marché, Caroline de Benoit. Pretty wonderful. Then I went to Marin Montague. You all have heard of this because his shop had got all kinds of recognition. It was a book, and I don't think I have the book here, but it's basically the book of small shops in Paris, and he's highlighted. He is so fun. Very, very contemporary, not the old-fashioned, for those of you that are sitting there thinking, oh gosh, Sharri's going to show us another old-fashioned China mug, and why would I be interested in that? I'm going to show you this because I thought it was so pretty. What's interesting, though, is when they're packaging it up, like, have any of you seen the movie Love Actually? Everyone has seen the movie Love Actually. And remember when the man who's married to Emma Thompson, who has since passed away, actually bought the necklace for the girl at the office, so to speak. And remember when the guy was wrapping that particular necklace, and he was adding ribbons and I think a little bit of flower scents and whatnot. I mean, it was so fun. But anyways, that's what it reminds me of, because this gentleman spent all this time wrapping this up, and you will laugh because all it is a little mug. And you can find this mug is the only one where the picture, the painting is actually on the outside. So I asked him, and he kept apologizing, saying his English wasn't very good, whereas I should have apologized that my French was horrific. But it was the only one that is this way versus this way. And so I asked why, because all I could think of is it is a left-hander glove, or a left-handed person's mug. And but he didn't know. He said it had something to do with the flowers themselves. I couldn't understand him, and he couldn't necessarily understand me. But I thought this was perfect. And also it's small. You can't really see, but it's not a tea mug. It's actually a double espresso mug, which I thought was super special. I also went to the Guerlain counter. And of course, Guerlain, you get the ribbon, you get all these special added things that are just wonderful. At the Guerlain counter, I bought, and this time I bought 2 of them because I cannot get them in the United States, which is a certain kind of foundation. I think if I can block the sun, I think I can show you. It's wonderful. Wonderful, especially for people who are, say, 50 plus and you're starting to get some wrinkles. This does not sit in your wrinkles. And what is so cool is you are to put it on with a brush. And I got myself a second brush because I thought, gosh, this is something I definitely, and I should be turning my phone down That would be helpful, wouldn't it? But it's a wonderful way to put on the foundation, and I never thought of it before. I've used sponges a lot, but the brush is actually much better. And look at this brush. It's like gorgeous all on its own. And I asked her this time how to clean it, and she said, you know, from time to time use a little bit of your shampoo and let it dry. But I bought a second one because even though Guerlain is all over the world, I absolutely could not find this particular foundation in the United States. What is also wonderful is when you go to the Guerlain counter, they give you samples. Don't you love samples? And the samples are not to be taken lightly, because when I did a facial, it's actually all of the steps, and she says use the toner first and then use the pre-serum and then use the serum, and in the little box is actually, here it is the cream. And I just loved these when I went off and had a facial once at Guerlain. Actually, at Bon Marché, they have a Guerlain spa upstairs, and you have to call to make a reservation. But they do have a spa at Bon Marché. They also have a spa in the Hotel Christine. Relais Christine. But I thought, I'll just order some of this because I absolutely love it. You cannot imagine how expensive some of these are. So if someone is willing to give you samples, jump on them. Bon Marché is a very interesting shop. It was started back in the early 19th century. It was just kind of a small shop that sold lace and buttons and threads and things like that. And then this couple, and I cannot recall their name, actually went to work for the original founders and ended up being the president of Bon Marché. And Bon Marché, just so you know, is sort of like cheap goods, cheap shopping, which it is not anymore. It's very cute. But this particular couple, a man and his wife, mid-1800s, actually turned this little shop into a department store, and something that I think really laid the groundwork for some of the most beautiful shopping malls, shopping department stores, I should say, in the world. The center of Bon Marché, which you saw on the video, has these interior glass kind of courtyards, which skylights, I should say. And these were done by the engineer who created the Eiffel Tower, as well as, let's see if I can remember his name, Boileau, if I'm saying that right. He was the architect, along with Gustave Eiffel, who was the engineer. La Grande Épicerie, which I also took you to, started out, as I said, the couple that kind of took over the running of Bon Marché in the mid-1800s recognized there was a need for food. And so they opened a small shop across the street from Bon Marché, and that shop had teas and preserves and, just small eating items, food items. Well, as we could see from the video, it has all just become something magnificent, actually. In 1978, it became La Grande Épicerie, or Grande Épée, I think people call it for short. But it is all part of the same Bon Marché group that is actually now owned by LVMH, who seems to own just about everything. But I think they bought it in 1984. The actual address, if you're trying to find it and you're here as a visitor, it's on Rue de Sèvres, But I walked down Rue de Bellechasse, and then I went over on Rue Babylone, and then picked up Bon Marché. That way you can also go down Rue du Bac. So there's many different streets that lead into where Bon Marché is. So just check out the address, Google Maps, all of that, and you can figure out where exactly or how exactly to get there. Bon Marché, it's expensive. But yet you will find things that under the Bon Marché brand that are like, if you recall, the old Neiman Marcus brands, where you could buy beautiful shawls and oh gosh, even some coats and that sort of thing that were not super expensive. And so they were in those days, they were under the Neiman Marcus name. Bon Marché is the same. Bon Marché has some specific brands, or not brands, so specific items that are underneath their brand, and they are quite reasonable. There are also restaurants all over the place. I showed you one of my favorite, which is an Italian restaurant. It's on the second floor of Bon Marché. But there is everything from casual dining to, a little bit more fancy. It really is taking after the idea of the couple that actually transformed Bon Marché, which is how do we create almost a day of shopping for a family, for a couple, and keep everyone happy. And, we all need a little sustenance in the middle of our shopping, and that makes perfect sense. I took you up to the area of the books and all of the paper goods. As you all know, I love Moleskine. Their journals, I've used them for years, and now I'm on to this Italian brand that I just love because it allows me to be a little bit more creative than the Moleskine journals. So check that out. Many of those products are available wherever you are, which is very fun. But the one thing I want to say, and that's why I took you there today, is that it's one of those kinds of places or shops where you don't actually have to buy anything, and it actually transforms you. It transforms your thinking. And that's what this next chapter of our lives is all about, is really letting ourselves think about, what could it be? What could I do? And maybe stretch the possibilities that you see in front of you. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. Let me know in the little boxes in your comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and please join us, because there will be more of these kinds of videos if in fact you enjoy it. Thank you. A biento.